Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. My name is Mike Ian. For today's video, let's talk about something huge. I moved to LA to become an actor. If you follow my channel already, you know that my dream career is an actor. And you probably also know I wrote a Spider-Man 2099 live action movie, and I want to be Miguel O'Hara himself, Spider-Man 2099. But let's just talk about the fact that I literally just moved to LA to become an actor. Now, I was actually living in Philadelphia before this, but I kind of grew up in California for the most part, especially like a few good years in the LA area. So, I was always itching to come back because I feel like it's the city I wanted to live in. So I was taking my acting classes in Philadelphia and all that. I was taking some online classes and I would try looking for roles. There weren't that many roles I could apply to that were like, they weren't roles that could match like my profile, things I would like even be able to audition for. So there was a few. I got like one callback. I never booked a role over there. Granted, I wasn't there doing that for all that long. The goal was always to move to LA, right? Because if I'm really serious about this, I got to really get into the industry, So now, granted, you could also do it in other cities, but I also just wanted to live here in my home state. So yeah, I'm trying to become an actor, And I know it sounds cliche to say that, actor moved to LA, probably heard this story a million times, but it's what I want to do in my life, I grew up loving movies, loving TV shows, being able to delve into this vision that directors and writers have and the product that is giving. And it's almost like being able to escape into another reality almost and be able to, like this story that entertains you. It's just always been such a big part of my life, movies and TV. So that's where acting came along, among many other things, why I want to become an actor. Like not just to be an actor, but to be a storyteller and bring like visions to life. First things first, getting here to LA, I need to thank my dad. My dad drove with me from Philly all the way here to like LA in like 4 days. He stuck it out with me, so I'm huge props to him. My mother as well, like my parents in general, have just been very supporting of this. They keep telling me, they encourage me to chase this dream of mine. They help me a lot with this, and this wouldn't be possible without them. Of course, I'm getting like further into adulthood. Of course, I'm 20, so I already was kind of in adulthood, but now I'm actually like living independently. That's a pretty interesting experience, needless to say. What am I going to be doing here in acting? Well, I'm going to be taking my classes. I'm going to be trying to submit for roles because I don't have an agency because I haven't gotten a role yet. Of course, try to get an agency, but just try to get roles and just like level up and see if I can make it in this industry, I have very high hopes for this. Now, Spider-Man 2099, like I said, I want to be him in live action. That's probably my dream role in acting, is Spider-Man 2099 live action. I wrote the Spider-Man 2099 movie. That's my dream role. Of course, there's directors that'd be really cool to work with. Maybe I can make a video about that someday, that like directors I hope to work with someday. Sort of like calling my shot, like Babe Ruth, I also chose acting because it's fun, I have fun when I'm doing these scenes in like class or anything like that. It's something that's enjoyable. So imagine being able to do that for a living. That'd be awesome. Do something I want to do for life. Acting is something I enjoy. I love doing these scenes in class. Like it's really interesting to take yourself out of your own mind and put yourself into another character and their experiences and all that. It's just really cool to do. I'm still going to the gym, of course. I actually did deal with a lower back injury for the last, for the 2 weeks before I moved. And then I kind of got back into the gym, but I'm working around it still. I'm still like very careful about it. It's like a recurring lower back issue I've had, but like it's not anything that serious. I think it's just like a joint inflammation or something like that. The gym isn't as big as a priority as it is for me before. My biggest priority before was just getting as big as I can and all that, like as jacked as I can. Now I'm like taking a little bit more calm approach, Like, granted, I'm still training to failure. I'm still going to be training 6 days a week. I'm still going to be eating, like, how much do I weigh? 170 something grams of protein, I'm still going to be doing all that. Like, I'm still very much into the gym. How should I phrase this? I'm just not as concerned with getting as big as I can. And I don't even know if that's, like, the right term either, because I'd still love to hit I'd still love to hit my natural genetic potential. That'd be awesome. I don't know how else to phrase it. I'm just gonna stop talking about that. I don't want to make it in acting, mostly for me, For me, this is my life. I want to make it in acting, but I want to do it for my family. I want to do it for my friends. I want to do it for my community, for you guys. And at the same time, I want to do it while staying true to my morals. I want to stay true to who I am, a genuine person. I still want to stay honest, spread kindness, spread hope. And, like I said, don't forget, like, I'm not going to forget where I came from. I'm not going to forget my morals. This is like the mentality I've learned, I preach a lot about mindset and mentality on this like page. So this is kind of the mindset I have going into this in terms of acting. I'm not going to be the most handsome one in the room. I'm not going to be the actor with the most connections. But I can guarantee you that I'm going to be the hardest working one in there. That's what I can tell you. I'm going to be the hardest working one in there. Do what it takes. I'm going to work as hard as I can, do what it takes to make it in this industry while still staying true to my morals. And, if I don't make it, even so, at least I tried, I don't want to look back and think, what if I could have made it, I'd rather do it the best I can, give it 110%, and then, and then be able to look back and see, at least I tried, even if I don't make it. And if I do, which I'm confident I can, then, what is there to say about that? I don't know how I'll feel if, I'll save that for whenever, if I do make it. I can say whatever I feel, but you know, like I said, I'm gonna work as hard as I can. With that being said, I'm gonna make a video in about 3 weeks talking about like the movies and TV shows that I'm writing right now. So I've actually written, you know, Spider-Man 2099 movie. I've written a comedy movie. There's a few things I'm writing right now. So I want to tell you guys about that too, because I'd also like to write some projects. But that's in 3 weeks. So subscribe or follow me if you want to, you know, tag along on this journey. With that being said, have a great day. Work hard. Be mighty.